What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video, and in this one we have, why are British place names so hard to pronounce? How hard can they truly be? We're gonna find out. Before we do, if you happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give a video a thumbs up. Let's dive right in.
British place names can be tricky to pronounce.
Take this place. Looks simple. But what if we told you it was pronounced Grimis?
No. I would have said you're lying. It looks like it's pronounced Grimsby. Got to be pronounced Grimsby.
Be lying, it's Grimsby.
But other places can be genuinely fiddly for foreigners.
And tourists who get it wrong risk being imprisoned or killed.
In today's programme, we're going to ask why British place names are so hard to pronounce.
Is there an and coming?
No, I'm done.
Welcome to Map Men.
We're the men.
And here's the map.
Okay.
There are difficult to pronounce place names all over the world.
California has Zizix, Slovenia has Tudj, Greenland has
Kekertarsuit.
Even
yeah, that's not even pronounceable. That's who came up with that name?
Welsh natives struggle with this one.
And tonight we can expect to see heavy showers spreading from the west into Wales.
But deliberately hard to
It's
pronounce
a
names
Wales.
invented for promotional purposes like Llanfai Pwllgwyn Gwrchgogerachwyn Droboclantisilio Gogogoch aside,
Show off.
British place names cause more trouble than most because they often look straightforward but contain nonsensical phonetic traps that are impossible to predict.
Try this one.
Go on,
Frome.
say it out loud in your room or on your train.
That's Frome. It's got to be Frome.
Ha 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 ha! Wrong, it's not Frome.
Frome, it should be blitheringly obvious, is pronounced Froome.
But if you did say Frome, don't worry, you're in good company. Frome is officially the most mispronounced place name in Britain, and that's according to a proper survey.
Excuse me,
makes
could you
sense.
mispronounce Froome for me?
Portsmouth.
That'll do. There's nothing more
Could you mispronounce Frome for me, Portsmouth? That'll do.
fun than laughing at tourists who don't know how to say something properly simply because they're from a different country and could never reasonably be expected to have predicted a local pronunciation that contradicts the basic rules of language.
So, we've
Exactly.
created the perfect travel agent's itinerary for maximising tourist humiliation across the country.
Starting in Biaulio,
Beauty.
head over to
Yow,
Rampisham,
yow.
Ransom.
then down to Mousehole.
Mousel.
Next,
Did he call that Ramtham? What?
Bio,
No
Beauty.
way.
head over to Rampisham,
Ransom.
then down
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that's what that's really called.
to Mousehole.
Mousel.
Next, travel north to
Mousehole.
Towcester,
Toaster.
then a quick jaunt to Gotham,
Gotham.
followed by a stop in Quernmore,
Quorma.
before finishing up in Alnwick.
Alnwick, which is near Newcastle.
Or, as the people from the city itself say, Newcastle.
When will they learn?
As you can hear, no letter of the English alphabet is safe from being pronounced any of dozens of different ways.
Including
No.
not at all.
Thankfully, there are some general rules you can stick to, and because we're nice, we'll help the un-British amongst you through a couple of basics.
Thank
Cester
you.
is pronounced stir.
Leicester, Worcester, Gloucester.
W at the start of the final syllable is silent.
Norwich, Berwick, Southwark.
ER is pronounced R.
Berkshire, Clerkenwell, Hertfordshire.
But before you get too reassured, for every rule in the English language there are always exceptions, such as the cester in,
Cirencester.
the W in,
Sandwich.
No.
and the sound in,
Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, sorry, Berkhamsted.
which is in Hertfordshire.
I give up. I'm done. I can't. I'm not gonna learn anything. It's my brain's already. It's already overwhelmed. We're only 2 minutes and 41 seconds in, and my brain, I can feel the smoke coming out of my ears. Luckily, it's getting caught in these headphones. But yeah, it's already exploded. It's not understanding any of it. You Brits, why are y'all doing this? Why can't things places be pronounced how they're spelled? Why y'all gotta pull us into these traps and pronounce it these weird ways? Because the spelling and the pronunciation it doesn't make sense. You leave us confused. And there's too many rules that they're about to explain that my brains already can't comprehend. Why y'all gotta be like this, British? Why?
The only way to be absolutely sure of pronouncing British place names correctly is to live here long enough to learn every single one of them, one at a time.
There you go.
So who were the complete anchors that invented these rules?
Yes,
It's
talk
time
to
for
me.
an English lesson.
To make an English language, you start with the base of Germanic Anglo-Saxon. Mix in a healthy dash of Old Norse, a huge dollop of Norman French, and just a barely detectable hint of Celtic. Trust me, it'll make all the difference. Stir it up for hundreds of years until the vowels really start to shift. And then...
Oh.
English.
Oh.
Excitingly, by looking at a map of Britain today, we can clearly see which invaders influenced our language where by plotting the origins of British place names. This marvellous, messy, multicoloured map shows which languages different British place names belong to and is a living history of our early settlers and subsequent invaders.
The oldest place names here are of Celtic origin. This is where you'll find all the place names with words like Tre, Loch, Bryn and Aber.
Such as Aberystwyth, meaning the mouth, Aber of the river Istwyth.
Which coincidentally is exactly where we find Aberystwyth today.
Celtic languages were once spoken all across the British Isles, but are now reduced to a small minority of mountain dwellers. And that's because low-lying Middle England Brits turned out to be more worse at resisting invading armies.
First up were the Romans, who brought in Britain's Latin influences.
Like the rumba?
No, like boring Latin. Anywhere that ends in casta, cesta, chester or xeta was a Roman fort, from the Latin word castra, meaning Roman fort.
But the Romans didn't stay long, so although their naming system was long-lasting, the actual names they used weren't, which is perhaps unsurprising when we learn they used names like Castra Exploratorum and Belgic Oppidum,
which was
see, y'all just doing, the Romans was out here doing too much. But isn't it fascinating and kind of crazy, like how language has changed throughout time, and while how this place might have been in rule, or the Romans might have been in rule at this time, but after they left, still some of the names that they had, name things stuck around, but then other things changed into whoever else was in power. Like, that's really cool.
Ostensibly renamed Braintree.
Next, in light pink, we have the biggest group, Germanic Anglo-Saxon.
Any place containing the words Ham, Hurst, Lee, Bury, Ford, Port, Mearstead, Tunstall, Wick, Witch or Mere are of good old Anglo-Saxon origin and massively dominate southern England.
Like Buckingham.
Or a low-lying area of land belonging to an Anglo-Saxon called Bucca.
Perhaps the most upheaval thing to happen to Britain's place names was the Vikings, who swept in from Scandinavia in the 9th century, committing brutal crimes including rape, pillage and the renaming of small to medium-sized settlements.
Oh my god,
you can tell a place was named by the Vikings if it ends in Thwaite, Thorpe, Kirk or B.
Such as our old friend Grimsby, named after an important Viking called Grim, famed for his infectious positive energy. Grimsby literally means Grim's village.
Really?
Okay.
We're all familiar with these common suffixes, but what's so striking is how clearly this map of Viking place names reflects the extent of the Viking invasions. You can practically see the exact location of the Danelaw dividing Viking and Anglo-Saxon England without needing to draw it on with thick red pen.
Following all these invasions, Britain was littered with place names that originated in different languages and accents. But the final thing that would make its place names truly unpronounceable was time.
Over hundreds of years, locals who were too busy to pronounce all the syllables in Cester reduced it to stir to save time. But they couldn't read or write, so the spelling stayed the same.
And while the English language has continued to gradually evolve, our place names haven't, resulting in a language landscape littered with phonetic booby traps.
But what about Froome? Which linguistic group is responsible for Britain's so-called hardest place name?
Unusually for a place name in England, Froome is from a surviving Celtic word, frama, which means fair, fine or brisk, probably describing the flow of its lovely river.
It's not really surprising that the oldest language in these islands is the one that's drifted the furthest from pronounceability.
So don't forget to join us for the next episode of Map Men.
Is that the end of your sentence?
Yeah, I'm done.
I said, yeah, I'm done. Nah, Brits, we got to figure out a way over time to make this easy for the rest of the world. We can't keep these names the same because they just don't make sense. They just don't make. We need you guys to fix up the spelling to where the name and the pronunciation are close. That's all we're asking for. Just fix up the spelling. Because the spelling and the pronunciation are worlds apart on a lot of these names. And I know it was named by so many different people throughout history, from the Celtic people to the Vikings to the Germanic Anglo-Saxons to everyone else. But let's start fixing them.
Golly darn tootin' gee whiz, hot diggity woo!
What are you doing?
I'm putting on an American accent to fool my computer into thinking I'm in America.
Oh my god.
Buckaroo!
Why are you doing that?
Don't do us like that. Do not do us like that, man.
Because I want to watch all my favourite programmes on Netflix.
But you've already got Netflix.
I feel
Yes,
that.
but American Netflix has programmes that we don't get on UK Netflix, including, curiously, some British programmes. So that's why I'm doing this really convincing accent so that my computer will let me access all the content I want. Zippity-doo-dah, gosh darn it, yeehaw!
Suit yourself.
Hey,
It's got to be a VPN.
aren't you going to tell me that's a really silly thing to do, and instead I should use Surfshark?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be a VPN sponsor. That video was absolutely great. The icing on the cake was this American accent he pulled off at the end. Don't do that to us. We don't talk like that. We don't. But yeah, these names are ridiculously hard to pronounce. Just in terms of they don't sound anything like they're spelled. Like when you're in class and you're in school and you're learning how to pronounce names, or like sound, your teacher's like sound it out, sound it. You can't sound out the letters. You can't sound out the letters because it don't make sense. I don't even know how to explain how it don't make sense. It just don't. That's all we have though. Please in the comment section talk to me. Have you gotten these names wrong at some point and you have to be corrected? Do you think these names the spelling need to be fixed? Well, talk to me in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out that next one. I'll see you guys next time.